What's going on, everyone? In this episode of At the Dinner Table, the boys interview artist, producer, and musician JLAV. They dive into how they originally met each other, JLAV's start as a musician, and transition to producing, his start of his college career, early years of music through God, and how he grew into a range of genres, including hip-hop. Naturally, the boys have a yapping session about his spirituality. They might as well be Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle at this point. They then wrap up with life as an artist through quarantine and JLAV's biggest influences. Enjoy.
What's going on? We got the At the Dinner Table podcast, episode 9.
Yeah, man.
God damn.
Let's go.
Episode 9. Today we have artist, producer, musician, JLAV on the podcast.
Yo.
Let's hear it for JLAV.
Welcome in.
Yeah.
Applause button.
Bro, we're going to get that applause. I promise you. Yo, I'm excited as fuck for this. I feel like this has been a long time coming. And like we're now, I think we've been like well acquainted with you for a minute.
Yeah, bro.
But we've never actually like really gotten down and dirty and like worked together. So like it's kind of cool to start this relationship. My most fond memory of you and was it was like the peak of quarantine, or like not the peak, but it was like when we came back to purchase after quarantine.
End of 2020, right?
Yeah. And we were like just like fucking around in the music building, like getting drunk, and we were like up on the 3rd floor, and I just hear this insane fucking beat coming out of Beat Suite. I'm like, what is that, bro? And like I didn't even knock. I literally just walked up, took my card out, and swiped that shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on in here, bro? And it was you and I think Jabu. With Summer's Over, right? Shout out Summer's Over. And I think you guys were making fashion at the time.
It was something, bro. I think the one that y'all walked in on, I think it was Ice. It was this beat that Zetra made. I don't know if y'all know Zetra.
Of course.
Yeah. But it was some shit from him, and yeah, we just had that shit fucking cranked up.
It was
that night,
so loud, bro. But like I just remember, like I know something's good when like I'm like scared. Like I walked in, I was like intimidated. I was like,
my God.
who are these people? Like what the fuck? And like we introduced ourselves and shit, and. Yeah, that shit was mad funny.
You guys had like heads in the studio.
No, it was just them. They were just locked in, bro. Yeah.
Just us. I think
They had like no socks on and shit. Like,
we're on there shit. Bro, we was living out that studio, bro. That was funny. Hell yeah, that was a crazy time, bro. Because like I also knew Jabu for a while, but like you just said, like we didn't really lock in for real.
Yeah.
So like he was just in New York for the time, and we fucking went. I told him, we got the studios I purchased, like free unlimited studio time to just lock in. And yeah, bro, we just started going there and making fucking songs and shit. It was dope. We had a great time. That shit was so fun.
Wait, so he wasn't living near Purchase at all?
Nah, he's from North Carolina.
Okay. So then where in the timeline do you meet him?
So we met, this is like going back to when I was doing jazz and shit. We met at this jazz festival. It's called Newport Jazz Festival. It was in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it was like this, like, I think like Berkeley was sponsoring it. It was like this 2-week intensive, and they just threw together a bunch of combos and shit.
Yeah.
And he was the only tap dancer. And I was like,
he just tap, like that's his main gig,
and I was like, what the fuck? Like this guy tap dancing over a 16-bar solo? Like, he to meet this motherfucker.
What? That's
so
crazy.
Like, yeah, bro, I was playing sax at the time, and that's how we met. And then I had him on Instagram, so he was like posting like little song snippets, and I was like, yo, like this stuff is fire. And he was like saying the same shit. And yeah, from like 2018 all the way till 2020, that's like we finally was like, all right, like I'm coming up, like let's lock in. And I was like, bet, let's do it. And yeah, bro, the chemistry was it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, natural
I could tell
stuff,
like what like right away. I was like, oh, there's like some crazy synergy between these guys. Like
definitely. Once Summer's Over started, I remember we were talking about some stuff like with Sunday Dinner and Summer's Over.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Right? Yeah. We should do it, bro. We should do it.
We should make that happen.
Are you guys still like active?
Yeah, well, we had to take some breaks because Job will be on tour.
Of course.
And then like I was doing my own shit with school and work and stuff. But we trying to lock it back in, bro. Like we got like some stuff in the works that we trying to figure out. Trying to get some videos and shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm definitely down to lock in.
Fire.
Hell yeah.
So what is the vision for Summer's Over, like as a whole?
So what we had in mind was just like a kind of like a pop, hip hop, R&B fusion kind of duo.
Yeah.
And we just make a whole bunch of fun bangers type shit together. We were kind of like trying to figure out the aesthetic we wanted for each other and stuff like that. But yeah, we just want to cater to like a young audience that wants to turn up and have a good time. And yeah, like the way that name even came across was funny because like we met up in September and it was just gonna be on some like collab like JLAV times Jabu, you know, and then it was like fuck, we just turned this into a duo because we're like 10 songs deep and we still making more. Like what the fuck we about to do with this? And it was like I don't know how it came together, but it was kind of corny. It was like shit. We met at the end of the summer, like fucking. Summer's over. Like,
yeah, bro. No, but it's a tough name.
That's a sick fucking name.
It's so cool.
Thank you.
I would have thought you guys like really like spent some time thinking about that. Oh, absolutely.
No,
also, like the visuals are so like I don't know, like eclectic, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what is the approach to the visuals? How did you guys like go about executing that stuff?
So like you talking about like fashion, the video?
I'm talking about fashion, the cover art for fashion, and then also like just kind of like your guys' profile picture on Instagram.
Word, shit. Fuck, bro. Honestly, most of that goes off to.
We could pull that up right here, by the way.
Most of that shit honestly goes hats off to Jabu. Me personally, I fucking suck at social media. Like I've had to like really just force myself to like, all right, I gotta post. Like I hate social media. Like I really don't like it. So that's him, bro. Like he's a guru in that shit. He literally studied like algorithms and shit.
Oh, wow.
So he's the one that kind of takes over the social media page, and I just do all the technical music shit, like the beats and mixing and mastering and all that.
Cool.
But yeah, he's the one that kind of like helped create the theme and like the colors and shit for Summer's Over. The album cover, Spectrum, he made the album cover for that.
Of course, shout out Spectrum.
Shout out Spectrum, fucking beast. And yeah, he kind of just, we told him what we had in mind and he just took it and ran with it, bro. Like fucking visionary that guy is.
That's sick.
Yeah, bro.
That's so sick, dude.
Hell yeah.
And so Jabu is where now?
Right now, he's in North Carolina. He just got his own place out there. And I think he's going back on tour like in a month or so. Like, that's also another thing, bro. Trying to meet up with him is like tough, bro, because I don't know where he be at half the time, bro.
Sure.
Like, but it's dope though, because he has a microphone. So like like recently we just been sending each other stuff back and forth.
Facts.
And then like I'll like send him an open, he'll send me an open, record it, send it back, get it mixed. But I'm a firm believer that like the best shit comes when y'all are in the studio together, locked in.
100%.
Totally
I remember
agree.
you said that to me like when we were like in the works with Sunday Dinner and Summer's Over, like very early on. You were like, yo, we just gotta like get together and create.
Yeah,
and I was
bro.
like, that's the way to do
That's
it.
the way
bro.
to do it,
And
bro.
like I feel like at that time too, COVID was just rampant.
Everyone
and like
was scared.
that wasn't happening
was
as much.
afraid,
And I felt like that was like, damn, you know, this is why we're doing this, because we want to be in the room. We want to like be making meaningful connections with people and shit.
Especially like because you guys are fucking musicians too, right? Like I get that mutual respect, and it's like you can't really genuinely create art, especially when there's instruments involved, like just sending stuff together, you know? Like it's just like you doing some shit on keys, I'm doing some shit on whatever, like, and we just fucking, that's a true collaboration.
Absolutely, because it needs to be fluid and like morph in real time. I feel like
there's an energy.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And writing alone doesn't give you the same sort of creative fuel, at least for me personally. That's what I found lately.
Same.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sorry, what are you saying?
No. So like one thing that really I wanted to ask you about, because I feel like it's a unique point for you, is like you started very much as a musician, right? You started on keys and then you went saxophone, right? And you're just like basically a monster as a musician.
Thank you,
but then you come into this like artist thing, and I'm wondering what the relationship between like the technical side of you and the artist side of you is, and like is there ever like a tension or like a push-pull between those two things?
Definitely, especially earlier on, bro, because
Facts.
like, so I grew up in like a church environment
Right.
where like it was heavy gospel Christian. Like,
Those motherfuckers are the best musicians in the world, bro. I will stand by that.
No doubt. No doubt.
So growing up there, like, was definitely a big perk. But once I found out later on in life that I wanted to go down the hip hop route, it was a whole lot of tension, bro. Especially with my family and shit. Like, I was torn because I was fucking playing piano and saxophone all these years. Like, my mom had it in her mind. Like, my parents, they're like, he's going to school for jazz conservatory. Like, there's no question about it, right? And here I am in my senior year, about to start submitting the Common App, and I'm like, actually, I want to go to school for music production. Like, I don't want to do jazz.
Damn.
Like, and my mom's looking at me like, what? What are you talking about? Like, where'd that come from? And honestly, like, it really just comes down to me appreciating, like, creating my own art. Like, I was being an appreciator of like everyone else's art for all these years, playing all of these classical songs, these jazz songs, right, that weren't mine. And I appreciated it, and I appreciated the art form. But then when I discovered like making beats and producing and writing my own lyrics and telling a story. It was like, bro, like there's no, me personally, that's like what completed me.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
As a musician, I didn't feel 100% complete as a saxophonist, as a pianist. And then even when I was just making beats, cause I had like a whole era, I was just doing beats, and it still felt like it wasn't, you know, complete, my artistry. And I felt that completion for real when I made my first song and started doing all that stuff. And I told my mom, like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
No doubt.
That's crazy.
I totally relate to that too. It's an interesting pipeline because I feel like I almost envy the people that have no technical knowledge or ability and just came in as artists, because I feel like they're always just like, they see things so much differently.
Yeah, they're not limited, bro. I be telling Andrew
exactly,
that, bro. That motherfucker, Andrew, you're not fucking limited, bro. For real, bro. Like he'll just do this off kilter ass shit that in my mind doesn't even make musical sense.
Like how you're trying to like do math equations in your head.
Exactly.
But
that's Mac too, bro. Same.
Those are the two people that
Mac.
were in my mind when I was thinking about that. 100%.
Didn't he come into school not knowing any theory or any technical knowledge, and he's just like
Mac Anderson?
Yeah.
He's also talented as fuck too.
So talented, bro. Visionary as well.
So how'd your mom like take that news like first year in college?
She was kind of just letting me do my own thing, honestly, and I respected her for that. She was kind of trying to keep it low key, like she didn't want the church to know I was like making hip hop and shit.
Sure.
But freshman year in Purchase was definitely a huge learning experience for me, just because coming out of my high school, I was the only one making beats. I was the only one doing that shit.
Of course.
So like I had a big head coming into college. I was like, man, no one's fucking with me. Like no one, I didn't know anyone that was doing that shit.
Sure.
And then like within the first week, bro, I met fucking Zetra, fucking Alegba, Eli, like all these motherfuckers. I'm like, yo, I got put on my ass real fucking quick, bro.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, like I actually have a whole lot to learn.
Yep.
Like especially like mixing, bro. Like I didn't even really know how to truly mix for real until like 2 years ago, honestly.
Damn.
Like 2-3 years ago. And like up until that point, I was just like throwing compressions to the wall and just seeing what fucking sounded good or not.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Like any plugins or whatever. But that first year, like that's when I got put onto like Waves and like FL and getting drum kits, bro. I didn't even know about drum kits. Like I was using like stock Logic sounds, bro.
Same.
Like, fucking chopping up the Apple loops and like dumb ass shit, bro. Like,
There's some fire shit though. If you dig deep.
But like, yeah, I didn't know about any of that stuff. So it was just a huge learning curve that I was thankful to be able to conquer and meet the people that I met.
Yeah,
know? Of course.
When you went from playing jazz to production, what was the thing that inspired you to do that?
It's actually crazy, bro. This actually goes back to the skiing story.
Oh, it does.
Because that's how I even fucking discovered like making beats. Like, so long story short, I had that bad ski accident, like almost fucking died. That entire period, I had my mom's iPad. That was all I had.
Yeah.
And I saw this fucking guitar app on this shit called GarageBand.
Facts.
And I was like, what's this? And I click on it.
Worst mistake you ever
You
made.
know, oh, fuck. Like,
We all made that.
Purchase tuition later.
This canon event right there, clicking that fucking app, bro.
Literally, bro. And like that one app like put me on to all of this, bro. Like, because before that moment, it was just piano and saxophone. That's all I knew. And then, yeah, bro, I discovered that shit. Like, it started with me remaking songs that I liked. Like, it was like a payphone at the time, Stereo Hearts.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Remaking those, doing shitty remixes of those songs. And then,
That's how you get good and you learn.
yeah,
all the
that's how
skills,
you
bro.
get like
That's
this.
what I did too.
Yeah, it was like literally like sound dissection. Like, how did they get this snare sound? How did they get the kick to sound like this? Like trying to discover like sound designing. You know, I didn't know about any of that stuff, and like that's how I really got my producer chops, and I really started to fuck with it. Like coming out of the hospital, and then I discovered that you can fucking record on that shit. I think I got GarageBand on like my laptop. And I like, y'all gonna laugh. I had like these Beats headphones with a little mic wire. I was like going like rapping like that.
Like Xbox chat, bro. Yeah,
I'm good.
That's
like
it,
fucking
baby.
squeaker rapping, like
Humble beginnings, huh?
That's
Bro, that's fire.
And that's how I discovered all that, and it just grew and grew and grew. And I think I really started like recording my own stuff once I got Logic. I think I got Logic in like 10th grade.
Okay.
And that's when I discovered like a whole other realm of plugins. You can't really do all that stuff in GarageBand.
Right.
It's very
You're
surface level.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I discovered all of that. And I was just fucking around with Logic's plugins, Logic sounds. Then I get to college, I get put on the Waves. And yeah, just kind of like little stepping stones, but it all started from the hospital thing. And I say this all the time, like if it wasn't for that accident, I probably wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing right now. Like
that's crazy.
Like everything happens for a reason, bro.
I was gonna say you said that before too, and I'm like, now it makes sense why that's like a core value of yours. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Always believe that shit.
I'm a firm believer in that too. 100%.
Of course, of course.
Because that whole time, bro, like I never experienced that much pain in my entire life. Where like I couldn't even stay awake. Like I'd wake up and I'm like my brain can't even dissect the amount of pain. Like I'm literally just waking up, passing out, waking up, passing out. Like, why is this happening to me? Why? Like,
wait, what happened exactly?
So I was skiing.
Yeah.
And I was a pretty good skier, bro. I promise you I was good. Like, and the problem was we were skiing in fucking Virginia, out of all places, in the mountains. And they had this man-made snow because it's not fucking cold in Virginia. And then it started raining. And that snow turned into slush. And I was doing some fucking intermediate expert mount, thing where I gotta go swivel. And I'm trying to do the swivel and there's no traction. Like it's literally just slush. And I end up going like 10 miles, 20 miles, 25, 30 miles to the point where my legs are shaking. And there's a turn coming up and I just see straight woods. And I'm like, bro, if I don't do something right now, I'm gonna go headfirst into a tree. So I just threw myself on the ground, bro. I just remember spinning, and then I like hit the side of a tree. And it's like the whole left side of my shit, bro. Like my wrist got fucked up, my pelvis got fucked up. I landed on my fucking tailbone.
Oh my God, bro.
I broke like 10 bones altogether. Like, and I didn't have a helmet on either.
Oh
like, if
my
If
God.
I hit, bro, I'd have brain injury. Like no lie. And my mom was terrified, bro. She's like, he's not gonna be able to play piano. Like my hand was fucked, bro. Like you have these 2 bones in your wrist. Like they just completely dislodged and just went to the right. Like, that shit was done, bro. And I was like fucking 10 at the time. But that shit was crazy, bro. Like, and it was a whole other ordeal. Like the ski thing was closing, so the ambulance wouldn't take me to the hospital. I ended up going to the hospital in the back of my dad's minivan, like trying to go to sleep. And someone was shaking me like, don't go to sleep, because I probably would have woken up type shit.
God damn.
And bro, that whole experience, like I just say all this to say, like, I didn't know why it was happening. And it wasn't until 5 years later, I look back and I'm like, wow, like, that's crazy. Especially last year, because last year marked like the 10-year anniversary that happened. And I'm like, wow, like this little thing that happened in my life, like, created everything that I am right now.
That is, like, I have chills right now.
Yeah,
that's actually so
that's crazy,
impactful. That's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah. I'm thankful though. Thankful I'm here. Thankful I'm good. I need any surgery. Like completely recovered on my own. Like,
wow.
That shit was a crazy, bro. Like earliest memory that is like vivid in my head, where I will probably never forget that shit. Like,
Definitely.
I'll have to go through at 10 years old. Jesus Christ.
yeah, bro.
You're not gonna ski again, right? You're done skiing.
It's funny, bro. Like 3 years ago, I tried it, and I was like, let me try this. And I tried snowboarding, and I never did snowboarding. And I did like a little twist, bro. And I hit this like bump. I go flying in the air, and I land on my shit, and I felt like the hip like pull. And I was like, that's it. Took the shot. Never again. Yeah, bro. But that shit was crazy, bro. Crazy. Life is insane. Like, life is insane, bro.
Definitely.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely. So you start telling your story, right? And and you start discovering in the hospital that like there's so much more to music than like I don't know, you ever really thought was there, right?
Yeah.
So where does it start coming out that you're like releasing albums now, right? You know what I mean? Like sorry, that's not like a clear question. I think what I mean to say is like how do you get from point A to point B over time? Yeah. Start telling stories and stuff.
Yeah. So at first it was just like making beats. Like making beats was just the one thing that I was like, yeah, I'll be a producer. Like I wasn't even thinking about making my own music.
Sure.
And then I realized like I had all these beats that I had no one to send them to. Like I didn't know anybody that like made music at all. Like in Valley Stream, people were either playing sports or in band. Like nobody's really doing that shit. And that's honestly why I started rapping. I was like, I just want to hear a voice on my beats. Like
Facts.
I would try and find these acapellas online and like throw them on my beats to see what it would sound like, but it didn't have the same impact. So that's honestly why I started rapping on my shit, bro. And I owe it to J. Cole. He dropped this album in 2014 called Forest Hills Drive.
Of course.
Yep.
And the way his pen worked, bro, it was like, yo, like I want to be a rapper. I want to be able to tell my stories the way he does, like through art. So I had like a notebook and I'd just be writing raps. Like, and it wasn't even any flows. It was just me like making words rhyme while I'm telling stories. And it was all over the place. It was a huge mess. But that's how I kind of learned how to like tell stories and just figure out like, okay, like how can I reach the next rhyme word by saying a phrase that makes a little bit of sense, you know? And kind of started with that. And then I tried and record it, and I realized like, okay, I have absolutely no rhyme scheme going on here at all. So let's actually scrap that and like try and find a flow while telling the story, while being able to make it all rhyme. And that's where it all came from, bro. And it was just rapping. And then I think I discovered auto-tune when I got Logic.
There you go. There you go.
Then I discovered auto-tune.
It's fire.
I was like, oh shit, this is hard. Because I had a squeaker voice for so long, bro. Like my voice didn't drop until maybe like 10th, 11th grade, honestly, bro. Like so I would sound like shit rapping, bro. I'd be like, rap it on it.
We gotta hear some of this shit, bro.
Like a dweeb, like a fucking dweeb.
We gotta play some of that. You gotta send us some shit, bro.
I'll try to find it.
Play.
But yeah, like so the auto-tune made me sound a little bit more grown, I guess. And I guess that's why I liked it. And yeah, I just started fucking around with that shit, like doing the basic ass melodies and shit.
Right.
And then I started doing both. And with finding Lav, the whole reason behind that title was just me trying to honestly just find what the fuck I want to do under this name. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it was just me throwing a whole bunch of stuff. That album has a whole bunch of different shit like R&B, hip hop, rapping, singing. I was just trying to figure out what I want to do. And yeah, it was a great stepping stone just being able to do that album. And I always wanted to put one out. I was afraid. I didn't really know how to mix.
Sure.
It was like a whole entire thing just going about like getting the album to sound good, like as a whole entire project.
Did you mix it? You mixed that entire?
I mixed it, yeah. I sent it out to get mastered.
Right.
Will Berger, I don't know if you guys know who Will
yes,
Berger is.
Yes.
Know Will
Purchase
Berger?
Head, right?
Purchase Head.
Yeah.
He's the one that mastered that shit for me.
Got you.
Yo, and he was being so patient with me, bro. I probably sent like 10 mixes, revisions per song, bro.
That's
like,
crazy.
Some dumbass shit,
Yo,
bro.
the ad-libs down 3 dB.
Yeah, bro. Like, turning the little
song.
shit down, bro. Like, dumbass shit, bro. Like, stuff that I don't even think about now, which is funny. But, like, yeah, bro, that's where it started with. And then Finding Rage, it was me, like, I felt like Finding Lav was too calm. I didn't want to box myself as, like, a calm R&B artist. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to make a fucking Rage album and just turn everybody up. So I made Finding Rage. And, yeah, and now, like, I just kind of want to, like, yeah, so my next album, I'm trying to, like, bring all of that together. And I'm calling it 2001. Nice. I'm trying to pretty much just tap into my roots, like R&B, gospel, jazz.
That's crazy.
Everything that makes me who I am, and just try and put that in an album and make it make some type of sense.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
It's so interesting. I feel like so many people that I know, especially from Purchase, like we've all like graduated college, and I feel like all of us are now like coming back to where it all started.
Yeah.
Like I know Andrew, son of JoJo, is doing like I forget what song it is, but he has all those like old VHS like videos of him as a kid, and like you're doing 2001, and like I feel like some of my projects are also like coming back to where it all started. It's kind of interesting that like we spent so much time like trying to like distance ourselves from where we came up and like become our own people, and then it's like now that we are like out in the real world, we like kind of go back into that 100%. Like starting point. And I think it's healthy. I think it's something that every artist should revisit at some point.
Yeah. And I think the reason why we're doing that now is because this is the first time where I think we're all kind of just sitting with ourselves like, damn, like we're done with school.
Facts.
You feel me? Like,
facts.
This is it. We out here in the world, and now we're just doing a whole lot of reflecting.
Right.
And a lot of that reflection is like, college is still a relatively early memory, so everything before that is like you're reflecting on everything that brought you to the point you're at right now.
Exactly.
Where it's like, you know, you were in school for your entire life pretty much, and now you get to sit down and be like, well, as a young adult, as an adult, like all the things that made me who I am, and those things are equally as important as the new stuff that you're tackling right now.
Yeah, for real. What has that been like for you?
So I've had like a whole thing like with my church, because growing up, church was like a big part of my life. Like that's honestly how I was able to get all the fucking chops that I did with the chorus.
Sure.
And it's a little bit of a disconnect with my church because they found out when I was like 19 about like all the music and stuff and the hip hop and all of this stuff. I had to like sit down with my pastor and have a whole entire conversation about this, because they was like, they pretty much just saying like anything that doesn't have to do with God is like, is bad. Like you shouldn't be doing
secular
it.
Music.
Secular music. And I pretty much just told them straight up like, listen, you feel this way, but I 100% feel like God put me on this planet to tackle all aspects of music, and I refuse to be tunnel visioned and like closed off to just do this one little fragment of music. Like I'm gonna come back and do full circle. Like right now it's hip hop. Next year might be jazz. Next year might be fucking electronic. Next year might be whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to stay in one place. I got to discover all aspects of it. I'll probably be making meditation music 10 years from now. pull a fucking Andre 3000, like, you know.
Give it a shot, huh?
Yeah, bro, because like I'm a music appreciator. At the end of the day, like I appreciate music as an art, and that's why I dedicate my life to it. I'm sure all y'all same thing,
absolutely.
right?
Couldn't agree more.
Well said, man.
Yeah, bro. So I told him that straight up, and he honestly couldn't even dispute that. He was like, I wish you the best. I'm gonna keep you in your prayers. And I was like, I appreciate that. But yeah, my parents be asking me to go back, and it's just I don't know. Like, I definitely do want to have a connection with that, but
yeah,
it's just I don't know. I feel a little uncomfortable.
100%, 100%.
Of course.
I guess in a way that must feel like you're going against almost like your family, right? Like what people have.
Yeah.
Is that something that like gives you more strength in the creative process, or does that do you find that as like an inhibition sometimes?
Well, I want to give 100% props to my parents, because I feel like after that sit down, they really started backing me with the music stuff.
Oh, nice.
And
wow.
and then they started seeing like a little bit of the payoff and stuff. Like I'd get asked to like perform at certain stuff or get flown out, and it's all because of the music. And they see like there's a method to the madness, you know? And yeah, just having, even like I have a cousin of mine, his stage name is Cupid. He started making music as well.
Is he on this new project?
The One Night?
One Night.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
That's how you know him.
That's my blood cousin. Yeah, we're second cousins.
That makes sense.
And yeah, my aunt, his mom, she started talking to my mom about all of the hip hop stuff, and like she really like opened my mom's eyes. Like it just takes another family member, someone that she, you know, feels the same level on, like mentality wise. Of
course.
She just opened up, bro. Now she's like sitting here trying to find like blog stuff and like trying to find venues for me. Oh, wow. Like huge 360, bro.
She's a manager now.
Type shit, momager, bro. So like I give facts. I give her 100%. Like, and my dad too. Both of them love. Like, even though they may not fully understand it, it's unconditional love. And I know some people where they got to move out of their house because their parents are they're not going to support them at all. Like,
sure.
You know? So back to your question, like it is. I don't really think about it too much. I still pray every night. I still have a connection with God, but it's like I don't need to have that connection with you guys in it. You know, you guys just speak it, but it's up to me to have a connection. You know,
it's your own personal relationship.
It's a personal relationship, exactly.
Yes.
So it's like I'm not really even thinking about it. Honestly, I know they're always asking about me, but as long as my parents got me, bro, cause that's my rock right there. As long as they got me, I can keep doing this and feel fully confident in it, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like good on you for like sticking to it and not like doubting yourself. It's not an easy thing to go
bro.
through, you know?
Cause I was thinking about it, like if I really went down the jazz route, bro, I'd be teaching these little fuckers in high school, earning $50 a fucking gig. Like I'm not trying to do that shit. Fuck.
It's not you.
Nah. And just the amount of practice, bro. Like my lips being dry as hell all the time, kind of putting all this work on this saxophone, like. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you're putting in so much hours for such little return, I feel. And it's like, it wasn't fulfilling for me. It wasn't like I loved it. I have an appreciation for it. I always will. But I couldn't dedicate my whole life to that.
Sure. Is that what you thought you were going to dedicate your life to before you clicked on GarageBand on your iPad?
Bro, yeah. Like it's actually interesting because like I picked up piano and I was like, okay, I'm going to do piano my entire life. I picked up sax. I'm like, okay. I'll do sax my entire life. Pick with the beats. All right, I'm doing beats my entire life, and then it's like I don't know, bro. Like I just realized, I guess music is the thing that I enjoy. Yeah, and it's really on some like if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So it's really up to you as a person. What do you want to dedicate your life to? What do you want to spend your years on this earth doing? Right. And for me, is being able to put art out and say what I want to say, and hopefully 2-3 people will be able to connect with that, and that's enough for me.
Right.
Facts.
But at the end of the day, I'm doing it for myself.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
For selfish reasons. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this shit.
Right.
100%.
Right. Got to do it because you love it. That's it.
Because you love it.
Absolutely. Yo, it sounds like you're like really in tune as an artist. Are you like one of those artists like us who kind of like really digs into the introspection and like the artist experience and just like the overly cerebral like what is it? Cerebral?
Cerebral. Yeah,
Cerebral?
cerebral is fine.
Cerebral. What is that cereal I'm thinking of?
So are you talking about like on a spiritual level?
I'm talking about spirituality.
Yeah,
I'm
for
talking,
sure.
obviously, the conversation has to go here.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it already has. We already went
already
there.
has.
Definitely has.
Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. I had a whole rabbit hole where I discovered like pure tones and frequencies and all this crazy shit, and how music interacts with your brain and the water, and like, 'cause we're water at the end of the day, and that's how we're able to like vibrate and tap into certain sounds. Like, why does this make you feel this way? Why does that make you feel this way?
Right.
Why does this one pure tone unlock a certain part of my mind and body to help me feel better or like whatever? So I went down that whole rabbit hole, bro, of like all of the pure tone frequencies, and I was like, like, what if I took these frequencies and tried to put them in some music? And
Interesting.
Like, and that's a whole other. So that's gonna happen after 2001. It's gonna be my last trilogy to like the Finding thing. I'm gonna call it Finding Euphoria, and I want it to be on some like meditative, like finding a higher version of yourself. And I want to put these pure tones in there. I want to like be someone that feeds positivity to the industry. 'Cause I feel like there's a whole lot of people out there that like, you know, they're putting good stuff out, but like, what is the intent behind it? I feel like there's some you know, false prophets out there,
Right.
like people that are saying all this stuff, and they are, but who are they behind closed doors for real? So I kind of just want to strip those boundaries and those barriers and just throw my entire self out there. Kind of like what Andrew did with his last album. Like he just went down bare, like, and just put it all out there. But I want to do that on kind of more of like you said, a spiritual type of aspect.
Yeah.
Because music is power, bro, and I feel like sound is by far the most powerful sense out of all of them.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
100%.
Agreed.
Are you are you a visual learner, or do you feel like you learn most when you hear something?
Both, because
Facts.
like, so I'm like, my strength is ear, like learning stuff by ear. So if it's like some piano shit and I'm watching you play it, I'm gonna be able to like, obviously watching it is one thing, but hearing is definitely like the most strong aspect. But if I'm able to watch you do it as well, I'll be able to pick it up faster for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or even like watching someone work in a studio and seeing how they fucking mix and engineer, like all of that stuff. Watching, listening, like definitely both. But I am not a fucking lecture learner. I can tell you that.
Facts.
Like, I'm not gonna learn by talk that.
There's nothing. You have to participate in something to feel like you're actually like like understanding the information. And I feel like, I don't know, lecturing definitely doesn't feel like it's just the cheapest and easiest way to give information to a large body of people.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
So interesting.
But yeah, what's y'all connection with that? 'Cause I know y'all were saying how y'all are tapped in like that. So
yeah, I mean, for me, like, I also grew up in the church, but like, you know, I wouldn't consider myself like highly religious, but I do have a relationship with God. But like similar to you, it's on my own terms. I feel like, because I'm not trying to out any religion right now, but I do feel like, for me personally, like, kind of the groupthink mentality.
It's culty.
It can be culty, and sometimes it can, like, because I spend a lot of time like analyzing things, critically thinking, and I feel like sometimes it's very hard to be in that state of mind and also like just mindlessly follow people. But yeah, and then just I don't know, spirituality is like, it is an individual thing, and it can be really helpful to like express it and experience it through other people. Hence why church, I think, is an important experience. But at the end of the day, it's got to work for you, and it's gonna be different for everyone, and you just got to be tapped into like your inside of yourself, but also just like the way you exist in the universe. I mean, it's so cliche and overused, but it's important.
If my parents heard me say this right now, they'd probably kill me. I don't care. I feel like not a single religion has it 100% figured out, if you ask me.
No, of course not.
I think they all have a little bit of it right.
Yeah.
But you're not going to sit here and tell me Christians have it 100% figured out when there's fucking so many other religions out there that people wholeheartedly believe this is what is correct.
Yep.
You know? And I think us as humans, we're just trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's why I didn't appreciate how they were just like, shame on you, da da da. You can't, like, you're supposed to be more like Jesus or God. Like, he's not sitting here doing that, you know? Like,
no, right.
All loving. You're supposed to be all loving individual.
All accepting.
All accepting.
Right.
Exactly.
Jesus was making beats, bro.
I mean, Jesus is making beats. Maybe Kanye was onto something, bro. I don't know.
He definitely
shit, bro. Probably shit.
But yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, I think it's like, it's pretty powerful that they did end up respecting your decision. You know what I mean?
Bro. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's important. But I feel like like a lot of my biggest contentions with like religion has just always been like almost like feeling like a relationship with God is like shameful almost. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's judging you and you have to ask for his forgiveness. And then it's all fear based because they want to control you. Like, but like, I don't know. I feel like the closer you get to that, just like all loving, all accepting essence, like the better it becomes and the more secure you feel in yourself and in the world and just in your place in it. Yeah. So yeah, it's important for sure.
I agree, bro.
And like just being fucking, you guys are going to kick me, but just being present, like straight up, you know what I mean? And having gratitude. And I feel like you're experiencing with the ski accident, I feel like from a very young age, probably instilled a shit ton of gratitude in you. And like, you realize that it's a blessing to be here and every day is fucking incredible. And like, we get so wrapped up in like all this bullshit, but like at the end of the day, bro, this shit is pure. And the closer you are to that purity, I think the better you are in your relationships and all aspects of life and in your art, of course.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it has so much to do with the self. I feel like all spirituality, and even that's probably why me starting, because I went to church as a kid, right? But like it just wasn't as effective as like me finding myself spiritually now,
right? It's different.
It's different for sure, because in one of those situations it was my choice, and in the other one it wasn't. You know, but yeah, I mean, whether you believe in a God or not, I think spirituality can still exist, and just I like to define spirituality as like just connection. Period. End of story.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? And so, me waking up in the morning at the same time every day is connection to my own, reactions, and my own, not reactions, but my own routine and stuff, you know? So that's kind of my personal experience with spirituality, but it's been completely positive, and it's been a wave up and down. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's been tough to like adhere to over time. But I think that's part of the challenge of it, you know?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think the one thing for me that always will keep me connected with God is just the ski accident, bro. Because bro, that shit that ass almost killed me, bro. And I didn't realize, like, yo, as a little kid, you feel like you're invincible, like jumping off of the top of the monkey bar.
Yeah,
you don't think nothing can touch you. And then that happened to me at 10, and I almost died. Like I almost saw death, and I was like, that's a lot to like digest as a little kid.
Absolutely,
and it turned me into an appreciator then, bro. Like, I was a little bully to my sister. I was like bullying her and shit, being a little shit, like growing up as a kid. But leaving that hospital, like I was changed. And my mom said it, like after that, like I wasn't the same little kid.
It's insane.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah, I almost died.
Everything happens for a reason.
You live for a reason, man.
Yeah,
here on this earth.
Exactly. So I'm gonna always give them thanks, bro. Just thankful for life. Thankful for having another day. You feel me? Because shit could be taken away in a heartbeat, bro.
That's it. But it's like you also don't live through fear either, which is important. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, especially at a young age, like experiencing that kind of trauma, I feel like it might taint your view of life. But you took it in a positive way, which is. I'm wondering if like having the backbone of the church at such a young age also like was helped you kind of like get positivity out of that experience.
Definitely, for sure. I think power of prayer is super powerful.
Absolutely.
Like Kendrick says, ain't nobody praying for me. Like no one not praying for you. You out here alone in this world. Like having people that pray for you is super important. Like, it's energy. It's
Absolutely.
them sending energy to you.
Absolutely.
A protective layer. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So 100% that contributed. Like, and yeah, bro, it just goes back to that, like not living in fear. 'Cause I think fear comes from like most of the time death, like being afraid of dying.
Yep.
And not having that higher power figure in your life will contribute a lot to that fear.
Absolutely.
Because when you die and you don't believe in a God, it's just void. It's blackness. It's nothing, right? And a lot of people, they don't want that. You know? So a lot of people are afraid to take that risk. But you got God on your side. You believe that there's a guardian angel or whatever, someone watching over you. It takes a lot of that fear off of your back.
Absolutely.
It gives you a lot of courage to do things that some people probably wouldn't if they didn't have that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
You reminded me, there's this I forget like the author's name, but his entire philosophy is that our fears, every single one of our fears is rooted in the fear of death that we all have.
Yeah.
And so everything just manifests itself, whether it be like a small little thing or a huge part of your personality comes from the fear of death.
And that's why tapping into spirituality, removing that fear of death, just gives you complete freedom in your life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yes.
Exactly.
Being at peace with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
peace with it.
Like,
Just-
do you remember in Vancouver, bro? We had this experience in Vancouver.
Crazy.
Like, so we're from the East Coast, right? Like, we don't know what weed is actually supposed to be like, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, what you mean?
I don't know. My perception of like what weed is supposed to do to you is just not right. Like growing up in high school, just like smoking like basically grass. You know what I mean? And like we were in Vancouver and we were in like a dispensary and we grabbed like the first thing we saw, and then we were like all excited and like we're about to get on the train, and 5 people, 1 joint, bro. We all took like 2 hits of the joint, bro, and we were like,
all it took
oh,
was 2 hits.
and
Is that
then
your first time smoking or?
no,
okay,
but just
okay.
my
You've been
first time
smoking for
smoking
years,
on the
but-
West Coast.
Yeah.
And
You never had Cali weed before?
nah, bro.
Really?
Nah, not that I know of, at least. I don't
Never.
know. But we were on this train like, what the fuck is going on right now? It was absolutely terrifying. But we got back to the crib.
God.
And we literally just like, all 5 of us just dissected the universe and dissected the meaning of life and like
figured out the
death,
meaning of life.
like, and we understood that like
Really?
death is just not even like something to be afraid of. And like
Yeah.
we all woke up the next morning and we were just so like content,
Fuck
bro.
yeah.
At peace, bro.
At peace, bro.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
that shit, I don't know. I'll never forget that. We were just all sitting there like, God damn, like we understand, bro.
Definitely
Like,
changed my like perspective.
Same.
Like I'm a changed man because of that.
Same.
I think on the plane ride home, I was like looking out the window. I was like, you know, if I die right now, like I'm fine with that. I was, you know, I'm not kidding, bro. I was like, I'm so content with my life right now. Like, if I go, so be it. I'll fucking reincarnate to a different person, and I'll, you know,
That's
it
so
all
funny,
just came
bro.
together. But
That puts
Beautiful.
you on the reincarnation vibes.
yeah, bro.
beautiful.
I was like,
That was some crazy weed.
I'll be fucking back. I'll be born like
Bro.
I'll be born as soon as I
Yes.
die.
That's
Yes.
funny, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
That's
That-
hilarious.
That's a beautiful thing that we came to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I unfortunately slept through it.
Yes, bro.
That's the
Yeah.
famous
We literally
punchline of this story.
literally all were like, we literally figured out the meaning of life. And then Matt on the couch, he wakes up, he goes, man, you guys figured out the meaning of life and I fucking fell asleep for it. Like, what?
Dude, it did something different to me. It just put me out. I was like, I'm going
got
to
the
bed.
coma, got the weed coma, bro.
Yeah.
But it was crazy
for
how we
real.
got there. It was just like little by little, just like
Yes.
you adding something, me adding something, Clay
Yes.
adding
Oh,
something,
yeah.
Joe adding. It was just
It was
like
weird.
So cool. And then we just came
Definitely.
to that conclusion. We're just like, oh, okay.
Amazing.
Very weird. Have you had a psychedelic experience
I
before?
was just gonna ask you because it sounded like we was going into that. Yeah, bro. I've tripped a few times, a little more than I probably should have. Yeah, bro. Shrooms, psychedelics, it'll all bring you to that exact same realization.
Yes.
And yeah, bro. Like I remember I had this one trip in particular where I did think about like the ski accident and stuff, and I just fucking broke down crying. 'cause
insane.
it was just,
Damn.
like, I really thought about all of that shit, and like,
Yeah.
I just felt love. I felt love and appreciation and all of this stuff. I also had another realization where like I was tripping. I took like an 8th, and I was like,
Oh my God.
bro,
I
I
can't
feel
even
like
fathom that.
I feel like every single ancestor that lived before me is living inside me.
Yes. Totally.
Wow.
Totally.
Oh, God.
How'd that feel? Like,
Type shit, bro. It just felt. I felt like a warm layer of just like their spirit living inside. Because think about it, right? Your parents, you're their offspring. You literally have their energy inside you. They gave energy, it turned into something, and that so happened to be y'all. And you gotta think, someone came before them, someone came before them. Their energy is in their grandparents, their, you know, and so on and so on,
Sure.
down to the first ancestor, whoever it was. Probably we're all related to that one ancestor.
Yeah.
We all have them living inside us, and that's when I had the whole realization, like, but we're all family, like, oh, this shit,
Facts.
you know,
Facts.
But yeah, bro, like it's just down to that guardian angel thing where I feel like my ancestors are watching over me, they live through me, you know, they protecting all of us, and yeah, bro, just grateful. I love psychedelics, bro. That should be bringing so much stuff to my attention that I always felt was there, but it just solidifies it
Yes.
in a sense.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, bro, especially when it comes like this, just the meaning of life and why the fuck we're all here, like, you know,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
That's beautiful.
So
dude.
interesting.
You go throughout life just like experiencing everything, and some things you just don't make sense of until you get those like little reality checks.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how that shit works because
It
then
is.
your brain chemistry is literally altered from there on out.
It is, bro.
Right?
It definitely is.
And in some cases, well, in most cases, I feel like it's positive, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, sometimes people go down, and it goes down to that fear that we were talking about. Some people go down that rabbit hole of death, and they'll get a negative experience just thinking about that because they're afraid of that voidness, that emptiness, and all of that. But yeah, bro, like same to what y'all were saying, I treat death as just the next phase. Like
That's it.
We're in this phase called life, and the phase after that, you don't know what's gonna happen. Your soul could get transported to the astral plane, and you can tap into anything at all. Like you don't know, you have no idea. You feel me? Or it is just plainness or whatever, and it is what it is. It's just something that we all have to deal with. And I'd rather go out in this world hoping and knowing that there's something there than going out thinking that there's nothing at all. You know, so if I'm ignorant, then ignorance is bliss. You know?
Facts.
Yes, bro.
Question about
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, first let me say, because I've also had psychedelic experiences before and very much relate to what you're talking about. But the weird thing about this experience with weed was that, like, I think when you're on shrooms or any psychedelic, you almost like intuitively or like intrinsically understand things. Like almost as if someone is showing it to you. Like you felt this layer of like all of your ancestors, like, and their energy living through you. And with that particular experience, we were literally like, we like figured it out with our brains. It was very weird. We were like, exactly. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I understand. It was like, but if you do this and then this and then we figured it out. So it was very odd because like I had come from experiences like that. But all right. So this is what prompted the discussion. Say out loud, I am, and then your name.
I am John.
Okay. Say it in your mind. Okay. Which one is the real you?
Well, I think there's two versions of ourselves.
Two versions. Okay. Go deeper.
I think there's the person that we talk to internally, and then there's a person that we talk to externally to other people. Okay.
Let me blow your mind. The real you is the one that knows the difference between the voice inside and the voice outside. The real you.
Three. Shit.
The real you is the observer. Because
Okay.
you are not your thoughts. You are not what you say. You are much more fundamental than just your thoughts and the things that you say. The real you is the one that observes. You know what I mean?
Bro,
it's abstract.
This sparks another. No, you're 100% onto something. Because, bro, I don't know if y'all experienced this, but long story short, after spending so much time away from people in 2020, when it went to me interacting with people, I forgot how to
Me too.
have that. It's like I lost myself a little bit.
Damn,
and I had to find myself again through conversing. And that just goes to show you that humans are social beings, and without each other, we don't know ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's insane. Dude, I used to be having conversations with like people once things got back to normal at Purchase, and I had this eye contact thing where I could not look at somebody.
People. Yeah, it's awkward as fuck.
No, literally, because it wasn't even because I was awkward. It was literally because I had to look at all the people walking by. Like I had to. It was just a point. I had to make eye contact with everyone who I saw for some reason.
Interesting.
And I was like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever experienced before.
Yeah, bro, quarantine did something to all of us. I think we can all agree.
Yep.
After 2020, we are not the same person we were in 2019.
But I'm grateful for it, though. I don't know.
Yeah, no, me too.
I feel like,
for sure.
Because to me, I feel like a lot of, like you said, a lot of my sense of self I was getting through external interactions, and I feel like that really forced me to like go inward. And I think I parsed through a lot of shit that I had to parse through. But yeah, it's. I wonder, like, do you have any opinions on how it changed music?
Like me personally?
Yeah. Either for you or just in the industry, like either or.
No, yeah. Well, personally, quarantine was really where music was like therapeutic. And that's the first time where like I noticed like music was actually therapeutic to me, and it helped. It contributed to me finding myself again, because I feel like to a lot of people, making music is you having an honest conversation with yourself, especially if it's like an emotional song, personal. And it helped me. It helped me get through that entire period, bro. Like that, I was going through it during quarantine. That was like the first time I experienced depression and all that shit. Like, I didn't even know what it felt like.
Yeah, same.
Like, I was waking up tired. I'm like, bro, why the fuck am I waking up tired? Why is it been sleeping for like 10 hours? Why I want to go back to sleep? You know, like just a whole lot of shit that I didn't know why it was happening to me, and then I found out later why. And me just getting up and like forcing myself to sit behind that chair and like make some music, it just helped get the ball rolling again.
Yes.
You know, because if it wasn't for music, bro, I probably would have slipped down on that deep end for God knows how long.
Yep.
You know, But music helped me pull myself at that hole. And it's just it's an amazing gift. Like music is just an amazing gift, and I'm so grateful for it, for real. And that's just what quarantine showed me. Like,
yes,
using music as a therapy tool.
Yes. It is
That's
cathartic.
beautiful,
Do you because it's funny because I think sometimes making music has that cathartic effect, but then sometimes I feel almost like anxiety when I'm like sitting down, especially when I'm just sitting down or when a project is like coming to fruition. I just feel like I care so much about it, and like the unknown is like right in front of me as I'm starting something, and I feel this deep anxiety. But I feel like sometimes the anxiety is from like I just have to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I seek
God.
that. So
I hate that, bro. I hate that shit. Yeah, bro. Because and I definitely understand where you come from with that, and it happens like after I work on like a big project, bro. Like,
interesting. After,
yes, because I spend so much time and energy listening to these same fucking songs, bro. By the time where I put it, I don't even want to hear it. Like I don't even want to hear this shit anymore.
Right.
I'm so tired of listening to
Right.
it. And then after hearing all these songs for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I have to try and make something new. And it's like it's hard.
Right.
It's hard for me to like just disconnect. And I realize like me personally, it just takes like having to live some life. Like
facts.
you gotta live some life.
Right.
You
Right.
feel me?
Get out of the house a little
yeah,
bit.
bro.
Yeah.
Like coming back from this cruise, like it gave me the inspiration I needed to just write and create new shit. And like my brain just been going since I came back, and I'm appreciative for that. But I think if we stay in the same place for too long, get caught in this cycle of like waking up, work, chop wood, carry water, like getting into that cycle, you don't have anything to create.
Right. Nothing to
no
say.
No tools.
Right.
Yeah, you don't
Exactly.
have anything. You feel me?
Yes.
And I think as creators, it's important to just get away. Whether it's like a creative retreat and you go upstate, just look at some different trees for a little bit, like whatever.
Some different trees. They'll do a lot to you, bro. Yeah.
Like whatever
Yeah.
it is, bro. Like get out, live life, experience some things, get angry, get mad, get sad, get happy.
Get rageful.
Human.
Get rage,
So,
get
yo,
mad.
how has that changed for you, right? Because I feel like in college, all that shit is right in front of you. You know what I mean? You need to experience life like you just walk outside of your dorm room in the old and you like go to the Stoot or some bullshit. You know what I mean? The night might suck, but it's something, right?
Yeah.
Now that we're here, right? You're back in Valley Stream, like I'm in Carl Place, like you guys are back like at your childhood homes. Where's that balance coming in for you?
I think that plays back into the role of our we're going back into our younger selves. It's like we're back in the houses we grew up in, you know? Like
How so?
because, you know, like you said, we were at purchase, we were seeing all of this stuff, like very fast paced form of life, kind of, because it's a short period of time, but it feels so long, and then it's gone forever. Then you come back home, you're probably before that, you weren't here for more than a couple months at a time. You spend a year here, you looking at baby pictures, you looking at the shit hanging around the walls, like
Yeah.
shit, like I think subconsciously it contributes to like why we're tapping back into that
Right.
self of
Right.
like young, you know, the youthfulness. And I think even psychedelics will show that to you as well. I don't know if y'all experience this, but like there's like a sense of innocence that comes with psychedelics.
Your childlike
Yeah,
innocence. And I feel like that
innocence,
same
yeah.
innocence, if you can tap into that while you're creating, you will create the best thing. You know what I mean?
Because you're pure as self.
Exactly.
pure as self.
And you're not so like influenced by the bias of being an adult and like, oh, this is the right way to do this, or I can't do this, or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Y'all watch
funny.
the Cat Williams interview at all?
I know, but I hear this is trending. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Bro, as someone that y'all want to go into this industry, y'all need to dedicate 2 hours to watch that interview.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Cat
speak.
Williams?
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak about it right now, but after this, like, y'all should watch that
Okay.
shit, bro.
Say
Like,
that.
we could talk about it because
It's just crazy.
it's some shit, bro. I'm
Damn,
not gonna
okay.
lie to you. Like,
Okay. I'm
I
hyped.
know, I know nothing about it.
pertaining to the entertainment industry in particular, the industry that we want to enter into. So
Sure.
I think as someone who's trying to get into that, like, we should definitely just watch that shit. Like, you can take some notes, bro, because
Yeah.
a lot of fuck shit going on in that industry, bro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is the music industry, the film industry, like why? I feel like art is so pure and it's so raw and natural, but I feel like the suits in our industry just absolutely fucking abuse it.
It's money.
But there's money everywhere.
It's
So why?
greed. It's
It's
the
greed,
want
bro.
for money.
Fame.
Money's, yeah.
There's
money's the
also
root of
greed
all-
everywhere too, though. Like I wonder why the music industry people get just fucked so badly.
It's a high highly touted, highly money making industry. Like music, movies, entertainment. People want to be entertained. People want to get away. Like we said, get away from everyday life.
Right.
And listen to something that gets them to just turn off their actual brain for a little bit. Watch a movie that shows them higher than life luxury. You know, like it makes money. It makes money. And those people want to collect as much money as possible and do that greed and all of that stuff. It taints the music, turns it to something that's not pure and something that's evil. Honestly,
I also think that like there's plenty of money to be made in other industries, right, that aren't music, but music is so popular because like it's the one thing everyone can agree on, or not agree on, but it's the one thing that everybody has in their life in some capacity.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
like 50-year-old mothers like just be listening to Ed Sheeran on their Alexas.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
Everybody relates to music.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
dad
for sure.
loves Sirius XM.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Get me
Like that's music is in everybody's life, and so therefore it's just got this potential.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. That's a great
there's no
point.
escaping it if you live in our society.
Definitely. Which is a beautiful thing, bro.
Yep. No
Yeah, that's
movies
great.
without music. No TikTok without music.
Yes, sir.
No,
Anything.
anything. It's for real.
How are we doing on time?
We have
An hour.
yeah, we've got like 20 minutes left of footage.
Really?
But we can wrap here. We can keep
No,
going.
I have something else that I want to cover.
Let's do it.
All right, so yo, I know that like just after listening to the 2 albums that you dropped, like I was almost struggling to find who your influences are.
Ooh.
That's a me thing more than a you thing, and that's because I like don't necessarily spend a lot of time in that genre. But you mentioned J. Cole, and I feel like it makes more sense than anything else because of the storytelling,
Yes.
and because of the bars. Like you have some of the best bars that I've like ever heard come out of Purchase, low key.
Wow, bro. Thank
Not
you.
gonna lie.
I really, that means a lot to me.
Hell
Of course,
yeah.
bro.
Wow. Inspirations. So it's changed over time, right? J. Cole was my entry into it, and J. Cole will always be that guy for me. But as I started tapping into auto-tune and stuff, I started listening to other artists that were more ahead in that category. So like Kanye, huge influence. And then even like, lately I've been going back into like Travis Scott, listening to Travis.
Of course.
Crazy.
Yep.
Bro,
Of course.
I don't know why. This guy's been like on my playlist OD. Like, and it's weird because during his peak, like 2015, 2016, I was not listening to him. Like,
That's
Rodeo,
so interesting.
Rodeo came out and I was like, this is cool. 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Like, and it's weird because I feel like that's when hip hop had a huge shift. Like 2014 to 2015, something happened in the hip hop industry. Like,
Well,
it
Kendrick
changed.
dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, right?
That, yes. And that was the last time we really heard an album that was on that kind of echelon, right? 'Cause
Sure.
then Rodeo came, Future started popping off, What a Time to Be
Chief Keef
Alive,
definitely
Chief Keef, 21 Savage, Lil Pump, like all these people, like the whole industry just changed.
Sure.
And that's when like the auto-tune really started to take over. And I guess that's when I started getting influenced by it because it was just in everything that I was listening to.
Yeah.
But lately, like influences, Don Toliver, Travis Scott,
Fuck
Kanye, Smino. I fuck with Smino.
Smino's crazy.
Facts.
Heavy.
Crazy bars. He's crazy.
OD. And it's just, it goes down to like that, having the melodies and being able to like write bars as well. Because I feel like melodies does restrict what you can say a little bit. Like, just because you have that whole melody aspect. And if you try to bar someone up while you're singing, it could be a little too much sometimes.
Facts, bro.
So you kind of have to like simplify your bars a little bit when you're singing, because you just want it to be legible. You want to be able to hear it, as opposed to you just rapping. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. Like it could be 16th note, melodies, rhyme schemes. But
Sure.
if you try to put that while you're singing, like it's a little hard. I'm not saying it's not achievable, but it's a little harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the influences. And I try to like, I'm so huge on like wanting to be original. Like I'm so afraid to sound like somebody else.
Of course.
So I like try and take all of these sounds and like make it my own. But yeah, like lately, what I've been struggling with is creating my own ad-libs, bro. 'Cause I be doing like this, and it just sounds like straight Travis. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's so fire though, bro.
I know.
How
I
do you
can't
even
find-
do that shit?
Bro, I don't
That
know,
shit's
bro. Just be
nuts.
fucking around. But like, it's hard for me to replace it, bro, because I'll try to replace it. I'm like, bro, it's just not hitting the way like I wanted to. Like,
I
Sure.
feel like the best way to like achieve that is just like go through 1,000 takes and just like see whatever comes up. Because I be hearing like Cardi's ad libs, and like Yeats ad libs. They're like so weird, but they work.
it works. And
You know?
ad libs is such a huge like signature in this
signature,
hip
yeah.
hop. Like it's weird.
Yes.
Like people are known.
Tag almost.
Yeah, literally. It's like what sounds you're making before you write the rap, and people know who it is just by your ad libs. Like it's lit, you know. It's Travis Scott, like whoever, like you know, Lil Wayne doing what did he do? He do like a spark or something. He like.
Sure.
Yeah, they start like going crazy, like you know, this is like a signature.
He's like, what? That
Right?
shit, you know?
Yeah, literally.
He's saying like bullshit.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
So cool.
Yeah, bro.
So cool.
I'm just trying to right now. I'm trying to find my signature ad libs. I guess is like the whole
Nice.
thing. I got the melodies. I got all this stuff, and now it's just me trying to be original in the ad libs department.
You'll figure it out.
It's fucking
You'll get
sick.
I'm gonna try.
That's very fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
But-
Appreciate that. Hell yeah. What about you guys? Like, is ad libs something that you guys really focus on at all?
Not as much as like I feel like people do in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
Have you guys done hip hop tracks?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
More out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And obviously everything we do in like today's industry is completely derivative of hip hop. Like literally everything. Doesn't matter if it's some
Right.
like indie rock thing
Pop,
or if
R&B,
it's some
everything.
like everything is hip hop oriented.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But
Yeah, I'd be like making like hip hop beats and then just like singing over it.
Yeah,
Just
bro.
do melodic
Yeah.
shit.
Have you ever
Yeah.
dropped your own stuff?
No.
Are you gonna?
Maybe. Because
bro.
I'm working with this kid from Ohio, and he's like, I sent him one of my demos, and I said, yo, just like if you liked my demo, just like sing over it. He's like, okay, and he hit me back. He's like, yo, like your chorus is way too good. Like it's so catchy. Like just keep it. So he like we cooked up something.
That's
I
cool.
stayed on
Hell
the chorus,
yeah.
and he.
You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
so
I want to
fucking
hear it
sick.
after
No,
this
no.
shit,
Oh
bro.
shit, bro.
I wanna hear it, bro.
Damn.
Vinny wrote a hook, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a hook. It's definitely
Fire.
a hook, man.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man. That's
but-
tight.
That's because I can't rap, but I can like
Doesn't
somewhat.
matter, bro.
I can write. So
I'm always vouch for producers picking up the mic at least once. Like,
Sure,
listen,
sure.
100%.
yeah.
If
Same thing
anything-
with you.
No, sorry, I didn't
No,
mean to
it's the same thing with you. Like you were making all these beats and
Yeah,
going over.
no,
it. So I was like,
exactly.
fuck it. I was just,
Bro.
I had to get better songwriting somehow.
bro.
You know, and just sing over my
Yeah,
own
bro.
stuff.
Even if it's not the primary aspect of what you do, like if anything, just having the understanding of what it feels like to be behind the mic, put yourself in the artist's shoes. Like the closer you can get to an understanding with an artist as a producer, I think the better you will serve them and serve the song.
Yep.
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
Dude,
I can't
absolutely.
call myself a producer if I'm just laying down a beat and then they're writing over it and then
No.
just like send it out.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
you
bro.
have to have.
You
You're a
gotta
composer
connection.
at that point. You know what I mean? You're just
Yeah.
composing a beat and then saying, do what you want. But like
Yeah.
producing is like creating
Yep.
a product and like facilitating it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
There's no like fulfillment because as a producer for like me, because I consider myself obviously like producer first.
Yes.
But you like writing has like completely changed the way I'm producing.
Yes.
especially lately.
That
Yeah,
is
I
what
love
you guys are doing, though. Like, you guys kind of are being producers to like the people you facilitate. You know.
Oh, yeah.
The songs.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff.
It's
Like,
true.
you guys
Development.
definitely wear that producer hat, like on some Quincy Jones type shit. You know.
That's every producer you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. No, 100%.
We are the arrangers, the orchestrators.
Exactly.
But like when you slice it down to it, I don't know. This conversation reminds me of like understanding the composition of a melody, understanding like which notes sound good together in what rhythm, like feeds into the way you produce more than anything else. For me, like sample choice is great, like sample choice is fire, but I feel like it's more of a science than, I don't know, that might be a hot take. You know what I mean?
Sample choice?
Sample choice.
Well, it's a lot more tangible,
It's
I would
a
say.
lot more tangible.
than melodies, but it's still, yeah, no, I agree with that, I think.
Yeah. And when I say more of a science, I don't mean like 100%. Like,
No, not at
there's
all.
right and there's
Not at all.
wrong.
Nah. Yeah.
But when it comes down to understanding a melody, you can really hear when a producer is a phenomenal melody writer.
Yes.
Pharrell,
Like Pharrell.
fucking crazy with Timberlake.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Damn.
And you can tell that they come from those producer roots because like. You just need. There's a certain level of musical knowledge that some artists that don't have that experience
Facts.
may not be.
So
able
on
to
the on the flip side, right, being an artist and understanding through the lens
Yep.
of production is really important. And that's
Sure.
you, bro. That's
Thank you.
when I think of you, that's what I think, because you're like a fucking super producer, but you also are an artist, you know what I mean? And it's like very rare, like when we did that joint with you recently, like it's very rare that you can send a demo to an artist and then they will send it back to you fully produced. Like they didn't just write over it and
Over
record
it.
into their
Like the
fucking
beat cuts,
SM7
yeah.
beat. Like you produced it, you put your own like aesthetic
thank
over
you.
it, and
Thank you.
like that's fire. That's
Thank
like
you, bro.
really valuable, I feel
Thank
like, as
you.
an
Because
artist.
now you have a product. Like
Thank
now,
you. Exactly.
like JLAV is the product on this fucking
Exactly.
track.
It's not just the vision or the idea. You
Right,
know what
exactly.
I mean?
Now Vinny has to finish the other 40% of the track. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Word.
It wasn't like that.
I appreciate that.
Fire.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's gas, dude.
Oh yeah.
So before we wrap, JLAV, what is coming next? What do you want to promote here?
Next, let's see. So, I have a music video I want to start working on this spring.
Hey.
It didn't get started yet.
Fuck
But
yeah.
it's coming soon. I want to put out like a couple more singles, and then it's album mode again with 2001.
Say that.
I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be probably the hardest project I put together, just because like I'm gonna be very like just on it with myself as far as like the pen, the material, all of that stuff. Like
Your taste is elevated, right?
Yeah, literally, it's
Exactly.
got to be on point. Like I want that to be kind of like my magnum opus to just myself. You know?
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I want to try and drop that around August, around my birthday. I think that'd be great. And then, yeah, man. And then after that, it's just promotion. I want to get some videos going.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. I just try to live some life and now try to put in a microphone.
Beautiful.
You feel me?
Cheers to
Yeah.
that, bro. Why don't you plug your socials?
Oh, yeah. So my Instagram is AJLAV, AYEJLAV. Twitter is JLAV on the beat, DABEAT. Yeah, JLAV on all streaming platforms. JLAV.
Say that.
Stream JLAV.
Sir, shout out Sunday Dinner, man, for bringing me on this.
Hell
Of
yeah.
course,
Appreciate it, man.
anytime, bro.
Thanks for coming
Anytime.
on.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
Anyway, I make her spin the block.